Because we were delayed earlier, we have let our lovely community casters go and have some food. So Yanko and I are taking things over. We kicked Dan out as well, had enough of his face.
Hello.
Liquid with 2 players on grenades. P250 onto Stanislaw, but no Kevlar. Flash and a smoke on Stanislaw and JDM. I'm not sure if coldzera spotted any players there, but it seems they've got a bait set up, Taco being the bait, but indeed the T's are moving away. Maybe they smell a rat. Perhaps. Who knows? The bomb is towards A ramp. So I wonder, maybe they were just making some sounds towards underpass, towards B, trying to draw CTs away from the A site. And indeed, SK have got people top mid, so they're ill prepared to hold the A site. But what will their retake look like? That's going to be the second question here. It's going to be 3 players bursting from Palace. Stanislaw and JDM with the smokes on the low ground, and there go the smokes. And indeed, SK seem well prepared for the retake setup in a sense that nobody is in the bomb site whatsoever. Fallen holding down the connector position. There's a gap in a smoke. He can try and abuse it. The bomb's being planted for that gap as well. If he went a bit higher, he could have seen that, but no. Still 1 kill for the CT side so far. The T's now pushing through CT. Very strong position to hold, but they might have difficulty doing it. Twist on his own. He's got 2 players headed in his direction, although he may now be baiting for his teammate. Running low are the numbers of the Liquid side. They really need these kills. Twist delivering 2 of them. Repositioning. Stanislaw on the site. Not sure if he's been detected. Doesn't quite seem so. Spotted now. Need to kill time. Stanislaw with that kill. Third with a fast one, but I don't know if he's got time.
He's got it.
Are you sure?
I am sure. He had it. I'm not sure. I thought he had it, but obviously I think Fer knows these things better than me. But still, even with that, it's like, why don't you just stick it? I mean, you're not gonna get out of blast radius at that point, so...
First purple game is on points. I should give him a purple keyboard to go with it. He's got his purple gloves. His
I mean, you have keyboards to spare at this point.
It's reasonable to say. I only took 1 round to start talking about keyboards. The short boost into the ladder room. It's always nice to pop that vent because if you have a player who makes it into ladder later on, then if they move onto the bricks in CPL, that allows them to see T's moving into connector. It's an off angle, which is not always checked by T sides. It was used a lot more often than it is at the moment. Again, things go in and out of the meta. Once they're overused,
do you remember how yesterday Liquid in their first anti-force buy round, they went for mid control, and I was, flaming them for it. And
yes.
You can see the SK setup now is mid heavy. They were probably expecting it. They're pushing towards top mid to try and get the kills. Felt does get 1 on Elige, but the trades are there from the players coming down from underpass.
Yeah, and indeed it's turning into a mess, this mid control for Liquid. Not sure where to look. So many places they're exposed to. Nitro trying to limit his own exposure. And indeed, a lot of the players are tagged. It could have been worse for them, but they're in a 4 versus 1. Fer has a great position to kill a number of players there. Are they going to continue to fight him? It seems they will. He was trapped in fairness. 2-0 Liquid.
Nice to see SK, even for an online game, still doing their preparation, looking up how Liquid plays on Mirage. I think, at least, that was an anti-strat from them, seeing what Liquid did yesterday in their Mirage game versus Ghost. Plan was good, the execution didn't really work out for them, unfortunately. Now they're on a full eco. We see 1 flashbang on Fallen. And Liquid just in a very defensive default, waiting for some sort of a push from SK. Probably going to use Stanislaw or JDM as a scout. In this situation, they have the SMGs. Just want to make sure probably they don't end up running into a stack.
I know JDM on buy rounds, if he's got a good spawn towards B, he'll always go and try and get a pick there. Alu is a similar AWPer with similar behaviors, so I wonder if we'll see that today or if things have changed. It was quite common to see that at the last major as well, but we'll find out more about that later. Liquid being, again, they've often, well, for a very long time, they've been a disciplined team back from the Adren days. 50 seconds left as they rotate towards the A site now. And indeed, the rotation is here from SK. They've chosen to stack the A site. That's their decision. Phelps playing pretty deep in Palace. We'll see if he opts for a flank. If it's a situation where Liquid are really running low on time to plant the bomb, well, I was going to say Phelps' position could come in handy, but it's a good thing for Liquid that they've cleared that. Fallen with the off angle again. The T's exposed to 2 places at the same time, and Fallen using that really well. But it's Cold. It's that 1 kill for the CT's Cold, last man standing, and Liquid will win by elimination. Again, lots of slow rounds in North America, giving the opposition, giving the CTs chances to hang themselves. But SK have the patience. They're a studied and tried and tested team. So Cold will be the first AWPer up for SK in this round, and they are very lacking in grenades. Does this mean we're going to see some aggression from them? 3 people starting in the A site for the CT team. Fur moving into connector. Cold is currently towards short. Seeing this, I feel like almost every round from Liquid at the moment that there's a gap to play with for Phelps, and he's got Cold in for support as well. There's a flashbang there, and Nitro gets taken down for free, so that smoke not as good as they may have thought. And that's a smoke where I don't even think you need to jump to throw that smoke. I think you just line up and throw it, so you don't really...
Is that the rollings, like where you walk and then jump and throw it? Is that? I think that's the smoke.
I think you just stand still. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain. I've seen people practice it on streams before. So I think you just stand still for that smoke. Anyway, that's a bad miss. Bomb rotating towards A. Will there be a flash here? Or are they just going for the slow peek? Yes, they are. Twist, not ready for second AWPer. Second peeker, rather. Phelps standing his ground for the time being. I think he spotted the bomb. There's more support coming for the T side. And indeed, SK are somewhat trapped now on the B bomb site. Cold and Taco. Cold moving towards a short position. And Elige will plant it, obscured from that position. Disaster averted. So again, SK just a man down. There's potential retake. I think if they get a pick, then they go for it. If they don't, they probably stand their ground. You see Taco moving back, covering Cold behind from any shot push. And that's a 4th round on the board for Liquid.
It was interesting from SK. I'm not sure if it was because they wanted their AWP to be on Cat, and that's why they gave it to Cold Zero, because that is his natural position. That's my best guess at the moment. Otherwise, Fallen could just play with the AWP, but they did get the initial pick. The problem is, even with that pick, they did not have a lot of mid presence, and they lost mid control. And you know, you could see how they reacted by trying to clear a ramp, but Liquid was 1 step ahead. They only left 1 player in window room, and the rest of the team rotated back to A. So SK was hoping to catch like 1 player maybe holding ramp in a default, and instead they ran into 3 players from Team Liquid, and Fur also fell to the Liquid player in CPL, and that just gave the whole A bomb site to Liquid. You can see that actually SK force buys here. Let's see how they deal with this A execute from Team Liquid.
Again, it seems to be a retake situation at this point. Fur in connector. Got to make sure there's no flank coming in from the middle area. Phelps doing what he can to look over the smoke, but again, SK are going to have to bide their time. On the plus side, Phelps is the man with the defuse kit, the sole defuse kit for the CTs. Cheeky peek from the CTs, and maybe they're trying to capitalize on Bedlam as the bomb gets planted, but it's not going in their favor. Phelps and Taco remain. Taco moving into the CPL jungle area now. They're doing good damage though. Quickly into a 2-on-2, and again, they're still carrying the kit. There are very few grenades left on Team Liquid, save for a HE onto Elige. And I don't know if he necessarily wants to draw it standing in the middle of the site. Double peek coming in from the T's, but he won't get a single frag. SK get their first round on the board.
That was a very close round. Liquid just barely managing to plant the bomb before those smokes clear completely. I think actually Twist made a sizable mistake in that round. I'm not sure why he was challenging from the apartment's position. I think he should have just stayed hidden and you know, just found better timing to peek with his teammates. You can see towards the end of that 2v2, Liquid wanted to double peek Taco, but Taco just got a great lineup and managed to spray them down. Oh, that's very unfortunate.
Blockerino, and I don't know if he hit Fallen there in the window, who had lost 20 HP. But
he hit him through JDM, so he actually did more damage to JDM than to Fallen. And Fallen also like Nitro. James, how is this possible?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the maths behind that, but I'll leave that for another day. Fallen finishes off the job onto JDM at the very least, and Nitro again. 11 HP. I don't think anyone's going to be throwing grenades at him anytime soon, but he is living a dangerous life at the moment. SK, one of the 4 teams you can come down to see playing live this weekend at Esports Arena. Tickets are available, and they range depending on the hour you buy them. 5 and 6 p.m. you could get tickets for $1. I'll even give you the $1 myself. Only one person though, and maybe I won't do it at all. Maybe this is all lies. 1 minute on the clock as Liquid try to reset the economy of SK. They've only had 1 successful round so far. They don't want them to have consecutive rounds. They don't want any money being built for, I think he's at the arse end of that position, but he's going to get 3 kills regardless. Again, Nitro coming in last. He was the man in red, and this has been a complete shutdown for Liquid.
Great round from Fur. Did a great job of holding connector, and that's why it's very difficult, I mean, to split the A bomb site when you have the majority of your players coming through connector. Also, unfortunate that Nitro was low HP. Usually, like in a situation like this, it's obviously difficult. You're a man down, one of your players is low HP, but you kind of have to send the majority of your players through ramp, because that's where they can get good entry, kill capabilities, also in a better position to trade, and you use the connector area to maybe leave a lurker there and try to backstab your opponents. Obviously, any decision is going to be difficult to make in a very unfavorable position. And Fur just did a great job of holding connector.
Three players top mid for Liquid. Seems so long ago they had success.
They still have a very healthy buy. You can see how they were a bit more careful not to get picked off, and they still have... Okay, so now Twist is moving back towards B. This looks like it's going to be a delayed B split from Team Liquid. A very powerful way to end a round, but SK seems to have a perfect three players in the bomb site, and also fallen very, very close outside the CPL area. coldzera in the bench position with the AWP, probably the most difficult position to get rid of if you want to go catwalk.
This is a really slow B split from Liquid. And that said, SK is starting to rotate away now. 1 second getting themselves, but coldzera is popping chests open with that AWP, forcing players around the default plant spot. 20 seconds, and now we've got the last 2 SK players stuck outside the shop, but the bomb still needs to go down. Rotating towards the site, being carried by JDM, spotted there by Fallen. Does Fur take a gamble here? There are 6 seconds remaining. The bomb's going down. He can't find an angle. Less than 10 HP. He's got to be really careful. JDM coming in for the peak, and he will finish things off with his 4th kill of the round. coldzera off to a good start with the AWP, but JDM shows him who's boss.
That was actually a mistake from coldzera's teammates. They were overextending while he was doing his job of holding catwalk for them, and then the split came from the B apartments as well, and he was pinched from both sides. So that was definitely a round SK should have won. Now they're on a very weak force buy. FAMAS's, UMP, CZ.
NIP used to, there was a period of time where they used to throw high explosive grenades in that position instead of flashbang, which you normally see, which could be quite nice at the right opportunity. Well, the weaker parts of this force buy have been cleared out, and SK, they have a flank. Taco is making his way to T spawn, and Taco's carrying a kit as well, so there are opportunities for something to happen here for SK. They had a pretty good retake on the previous round, but can they do it again? Liege winning the duel, and that might put a stop to things. coldzera keeping his distance with the AWP. He was on short with no armor, so he's got position to retreat, and now Phelps can try to protect his position.
It's very strange from Fallen to be in such a forward position on the A bomb site in shadow when his teammates are making an aggressive move towards underpass, right? Usually when you go for aggression on one side of the map, you play it passive on the other side, you play for the retake, because the natural reaction from the T's, if they lose players, where you're being aggressive is to react by being aggressive themselves on the opposite side of the map, and that's where you just play passive, try to get a kill from an off angle, and you wait for your teammates. You play for the retake with the numbers advantage, but you can see how as soon as Fallen dies, they lose all control of the A bomb site. And
oh, speaking of the A bomb site, Fallen, he's got a forward spawn. Does he go Palace? Does he go ramp? Does he go towards connector? Look towards the ramp. Just have a run past. 2-1-2 set up with Fallen playing mid from the connector position. Again, Liquid, they've been playing slow. They've had 3 people commonly at the top of mid, but on this occasion, they have abandoned it. They've got 1 player, Stanislaw, just keeping an eye on B apartments at the moment, making sure there's no push, perhaps showing some presence, making some sounds, but now he's moving to join his team, so it seems it's going to be a prompt A play. We'll commonly see Liquid changing the pace of the game halfway through their T half, and that's what they're doing in this round. The Molotov, though, will slow them down. They've got mollies of their own. Phelps holding the off angle in case anybody emerges through Palace, but Fur can't get anything done from the shadow position. Phelps good for 1 kill. That's another nice headshot. 3K for Phelps. He is crushing this round. Fallen coming in now with the AWP, and there is a triangle of Brazilian players that the JDM needs to deal with. No kills in this round for him just yet. 2 players in the red, but I'm sure he'll want to keep his AWP out for the time being. Missing a quick scope. How does he get the 1 versus 1s? Trying to find a player who must surely be in the CT position, but again, SK, they won't want to reveal their positions until JDM's at the point of no return, narrowly avoiding it, moving into sandwich, and Fallen's got a superior angle, whereas teammates can trade. Only so much JDM could do. 3rd round for SK.
it looked like the round was going to fall apart yet again for SK. 4v5 situation, but Phelps, as you can see, had a great hold. Those 2 headshots that he hit initially really stopped the push from Team Liquid. So you can see that Liquid is perfectly willing to go for these A executes with a lot of utility. And SK has been trying to adapt by throwing some aggression their way, but they've had mixed success so far. I think something that might be throwing SK off a little bit is this like delayed mid take from Liquid, because once you see the smokes and you don't see any players, you're thinking, okay, this is like they're just faking mid control. They want to explode maybe A ramp or A apps or maybe B apps, right? But Liquid actually just waits after the first set of smokes, and then they throw them again, go for delayed mid control.
It's not going to work out for them though. Flash looks like it came from over connector from the A site, was really strong. Liquid, those initial smokes were suggesting a fast B split with 1 to block off the connector position, but again, they played it super slow. Fallen, however, had a very forward position in B apartments, which paid off, punishing a crouch peek, and there's Cold Zero with the second AWP on the B bomb site. More surprises for Liquid, and the surprises are nasty, leaving them in a 2 versus 5, so they barely had any impact. Swiss now trying to open things up, but he will get naded into oblivion. Close casket funeral for him. And again, JDM's left as the last man standing, this time sans AWP. In the middle of mid with an AK-47. If he faces A, he'll be exposed to B. If he faces B, he's exposed to A.
I think this also shows you that SK has a pretty good read on Liquid's default most of the time, because why would you ever send both ops on towards the same bomb site, right? But they know that usually it's just Stanislaw lurking around B apartments trying to exert some pressure, so they send Fallen there to try and get a pick, and also they send Cold Zero towards Catwalk with the AWP, because that's where they feel an Opera has the biggest chance to basically find an opening against the default that Liquid is running.
It's different to the one I've seen executed, but same. It's the same, but
the same result.
It's the same, but it's different.
Nice one, James.
It's the same, but different. So that's one for the Liquid coach to look at and inspect those smokes for gaps.
But I don't think they threw that one when there was a gap.
Yeah, it looks much better now. Nitro taken down. Pistol round for the Liquid side after having some success. Now it's time to taste some failure, the bitter taste of failure. Elige with his pistol. Elige, I'm pretty sure he uses all stock pistols and names them stat track, whatever they are. He's got 2 kills so far. He's doing quite reasonable damage again. These rounds have not been amazing for SK, so That is like $11,000 roughly of damage that he just did. So that pistol paid for itself and then some.
Yeah, that's actually pretty big. It also shows you the importance of SK saving guns in earlier rounds, because Liquid won, you know, most of the rounds they won here are gun rounds, basically, right? Because SK kept buying. If they had a chance to hunt them down and fully reset them, they would have an even stronger money situation for them. You can see now they do have a full buy with AKs, but only 4 smokes left and a single flash. And this looks like it is going to be a B fake.
I used to throw that smoke, but I do not recall where it goes. I think it might go towards... Oh no, there was a different one for the bench position to obscure.
That's the right side of pillar, or however you call it, for Edward. Like,
The short arches.
they're all gonna die, James.
Oh, well.
Nice fake.
Indeed.
Take that.
They were patient enough for continuing the charge as well. So the bomb spotted. That's pretty much the entire game plan of Liquid. Absolutely exposed. National Enquirer style. Phelps taken down in the middle area, so that's going to delay the flank. We've got Fallen in a position on A, but he wasn't able to see or at least kill Elige moving up the short position. And Elige is turning around again, but it's Cole's taken down, but Fallen, I think, tagged him first. Fighting for the kills like a pair of lions. Taco will get the last one. 6-6. SK with an opportunity to take the lead as Liquid Economy is not in a good place.
And that's the problem. When you play SK, you can't really afford to be that passive and you know, not show yourselves. Basically, because with the likes of Fur and Phelps on the map, you can count on them making an aggressive move and basically flanking you and ruining your plan, as we just witnessed in that round. And it's very hard to have that presence of mind throughout the whole half, right? Because obviously you're thinking in a way of, okay, we've been doing these things. Let's try and be one step ahead of them. Let's try and outplay them, outmind game them. But you always need to remember like the fundamentals of playing against SK. That no matter what, no matter how much you're in the lead, perhaps they're still going to play their own game, right? They're still going to be aggressive. So you always need to account for that when you think about your own game plan.
Pistols moving into the A site. Fallen will have the fish in a barrel moment. He'll get one for his troubles. Phelps moving in to stop the cross towards the bomb site. And Fallen's on 3 HP. Those T's are moving in. If they try and make a play for CT, he could be in a lot of trouble. He needs cover from his teammate. He can't even re-peek in this situation. He could even get killed through the toll booth. It's not the... Oh my god. This is a high damage round already from Liquid. And what is going on, Twist? What are you doing?
That's just mad.
From that range, a P250. Yeah. You don't see that with a P. You see with a 5.7. You don't see that with P250. That's insane.
Those were some nice shots.
It's like nobody had helmets.
The problem was, like, you can see how Fallen didn't want to peek. He wanted, you know, he only had 3 HP. And then when Taco dies, he's like, okay, now I have to help Taco. There's no point in me hiding still. And then both of them take one in the dome.
Blats. Well, SK, they've had enough success. They've had enough success to buy around everything they lost in that round, which was quite a lot. Last 2 rounds of the first half. Double ups continue for the T's. CTs, excuse me. Fur at another surprising angle. Again, it seems they found their groove in a clash of styles. SK versus Liquid. But how can Liquid respond in the dying rounds of the first half? Not very well in the middle area. Again, Fallen back on top of his game, and that is a dangerous prospect for any team.
Except for SK.
Except for SK, absolutely. 2 Liquid players remain. The bomb is in a collector... Well, the bomb is actually quite exposed, I think. Yes, that bomb is not in an ideal place. They will abandon the bomb for the time being. And perhaps their chances of winning the round have been abandoned by force. Indeed it has. Cold Zero finishing things off. SK with a 2-round lead. Liquid, they've got good money to buy though. Lost bonus is up there. at this point, it might be a relief to be heading towards the CT side now that SK have got their grip on this half. No AWPs for Liquid, no AWPs for Liquid in this last round of the first half. JDM doesn't even have a helmet. 3 M4s with the 2 AWP, so we'll see if that plays a part later on. And now we have a 2-man push. SK aggressive constantly, continuously. And there's not much Liquid can really do about that. There's not really a hole they can exploit based on their slow positioning, but it seems they're going for the fast B play based on 2 players being deep towards A. And indeed, it's 3 players on A in total. So this charge making its way through. They've got nobody in apartments, however. It's Cold on the high ground, and he's got Taco for support. Taco may be the mystery player now. And again, they're not expecting that, but it's a player moving up the underpass. Stanislaw, but he's on his own, and he's versus 4. And you don't fancy his chances. Taco doesn't need any support to take that last kill for a 9-6 scoreline at halftime.
And that was great recovery from SK after being down first 4-0 and then 6-2. They had the presence of mind to, not overextend themselves. They realized when the rounds were lost, they saved their guns. That's what allowed them to keep rebuying, and eventually they did find a way to defend against Liquid and to break their money even and establish control of the game. So all things considered, it's still a decent half for Team Liquid. The pistol round is going to be of huge importance here.
It's very interesting, Molotov and a smoke from Fallen. And maybe he will be forced to deploy this Molotov towards the connector area because there's fights on the hands of the teams, but they're using a numbers game. It's working out for them at the moment. Nitro trapped in the corner. He can try and pop one head on his own. He's doing well to take Fur down. Smoke's been deployed in the meantime. I think it might be deployed around the back of Connector. Indeed, it has been deployed to isolate players. Nitro still standing his ground. And while all this is going on in the middle area, Taco has gone all the way through B. Elige gets his knife out. That's going to be a regret. And now Taco's in such a strong position that the T's are in a lot of trouble. 2-man retake. Taco taken down. No more grenades for the T side. I think one of Fallen's teammates shot the wall next to him to try and suggest that nobody was there. If that was the case, it was a nice idea. Doesn't pay off though. Fallen taken down. But again, SK with all the advantages. The bomb's here for the short plant, but that plant is also exposed to apartments. And that means that there's more bait going on. You've got a short position there. Cold could have waited for the defuse, chose to fight, didn't work out for him. The bomb is actually fairly deep. If it was a bit closer to the edge, then he could have had a better fight with somebody who was defusing the bomb. Maybe that's why he faced. Either way, it's Liquid who take the pistol.
Why did they peek, James?
That's a good question.
Why did they first Fur, then Cold? Why did they immediately peek? Okay, Cold was probably pressured a little bit in a 1v2 and wanted to make it a 1v1, but Fur had no reason to peek there. They're going to expect one player at least to be towards Catwalk because of the plant, and he just threw his life away, peeking so soon. The bomb wasn't even tapped. He could have bought a bit more time.
It could be that he is trying to catch a player in anticipation of them looking down to tap the bomb. But
that's very difficult to do.
Yes.
Without, like, if he had a teammate in sight and knew about their movements and timings, this was just a blind guess.
Yeah, in the red as well. It's high risk. High risk and questionable reward. SK was a force buy in round number 17. One player from both sides taken down already. So the mid area is not being taken care of at the moment. Elige making sure there's no push through connector. Liquid had a look towards the B bomb site. Now they will rotate a third person towards A, and it seems they're making the right play. So we have a 3-pronged assault being readied by the SK side. That's a great start from Taco. No bomb. He's not carrying the bomb, so that's not a guarantee that it's going to be A. But now we have JDM with the scout rotating to shop at the very least, so he has a faster rotation towards A. And they've got no vision of mid, so if there was a split coming in, he'd be exposed. And indeed, he's going to have a fight on his hands in CT spawn. Twist naded in the meantime, and indeed, JDM caught on a rotation by Fur, leaving Nitro alone versus 4. With the M4, oh, the bomb planted in the inverse default spot, but that's exactly where Nitro had an angle. 20 seconds remaining, and these two players need to come together. He's been spotted now, but he's expecting the peek from Palace. 14 seconds. Flashes, but no high explosive grenades. Safe plants. Safe as you can expect. Taco lucky to get away with that one. Nacho going through the smokes. Fern really has to stay alive here. And that's one way to do it, by killing the last man, taking the M4 as well.
You do question whether it's necessary for Stanislaw to push B when they're already in a 5v4 situation. He gave that lead right away, right back to SK. So a small mistake ended up costing them the round among some of the other things. As we see a mid push towards, well, mid, James.
Mid pushes toward mid, pretty common. Elige trying to clear out the rest. They are fighting right back Liquid. They do not want SK extending their lead more than 3 rounds, and they will fight for it in the middle area with great success. A Mac 10 and a UMP on the final 2 players. The bomb needs to be collected as well, and there's a chance that Elige may just continue to push with the AK-47, and from his position, Fur needs to make sure he doesn't run anymore, because his position will be given away as well. So it seems Taco and Fur, they might wait for a double peek in the situation. You see Taco jiggling left and right. And there's Elige spotted with the AK. Flashbang, Fur can support as well. And there's the grenades. The grenade will take Nitro down at the very least, so he knows there's one more player to fight with. UMP running out of bullets just as Elige is running out of HP. Elige with 3 kills so far. The smoke will suggest he repositions, but he has to pick his time carefully so he does not get sprayed. In fact, he'll just hold his position. But the angles are cute because he has the ladder up there, not a ramp. Repositioning with his teammate now, and it's awkward for Taco. There is an angle all the way to top mid, so they'll spot him there. And they should see each other on the radar. You see Liquid edging towards the B bomb sites. Taco has a decision to make. Does he go under? Oh, and they're going towards A.
I'm not sure if they've spotted him. I'm not sure if Twists was looking towards B, or did he already turn his back towards A. And Taco will definitely get the bomb plant here. He has smoke and a Molotov as well. Elige low HP, so a decent chance for Taco to win this round.
You can Molotov positions like this from apartments, but of course he doesn't know what's safe.
Yeah, the problem is he's definitely not going to be able to isolate them into 1v1s, or most likely he won't be able to do so. They're sticking together, but he chose a position which they will not expect, and he's hoping they won't check it.
I think his gun's giving him away. Again, that bench position was adjusted. That bench position used to be OP, and they changed it so it's a lot more wallbangable. You don't really see people wallbang it much these days, but it is very susceptible to bullet penetration. And I think when he looked to his right, I can only assume that the end of his gun was exposed on the corner. Elige spotting it almost immediately. They had no kit either, the Liquid side, so that was a
If he only threw the molly, you know, if he was in BS and threw a molly, he would have won the round. But obviously he can't. I mean, he can't know that. He couldn't know where the Team Liquid players were, and back into a force buy of their own. SK Gaming going towards B early on.
So SK had asked.
Oh, this is nice.
SK asked what they saw in the chat, and they said it was the shoulder. Yeah, we saw this pop flash yesterday from Liquid as well. I think it was Liquid. It's a really, really nice pop flash. No bouncing off walls and so on. Gets a lot of information, but there's a lot of headshots on the B bomb site. 4 headshots, make it 5 with 6 players down in total. The CTs moving in from the shop. And there's a deeper short plant. This can be defended from apartments as well as short, although of course the T's don't really have time to get back in there. We'll see if Phelps tries to do that. The smoke might actually help them. They had a smoke towards the window, so indeed Phelps is in the apartments, and he's got fallen. Actually, he's not really covering him on the low ground, so Phelps is slightly exposed, I think. So he's moving into a deeper position, and there's a Molotov onto Phelps as well. So this should be very, very difficult for the Liquid side. Fallen manages to avoid the flashbang, and now he's just killing time. JDM, is he going to go for it? The Molotov's perfect, but again, he can be sprayed. Oh my goodness, he got time for it! Oh my god, what a clutch from JDM. Really? Oh. That is absolutely insane. What a ballsy play. What a beast. What a guy. What a man.
That's so smart. That's such a great play from JDM. Actually, I love that play, James. That's a play of a man. I feel
like he could be sprayed from the window though. From where that bomb was planted, I think I mean, maybe I
Whoop.
guess the last player wanted to jump down to you know, to be sure, to be closer. But
I think with the time, Phelps knew that, you know,
I'm not saying what he did was
there
wrong.
was so little time that he figured if he's faking or anything, like he won't have time to go back to it. But
Yeah.
he literally had only that one split second of a time to get that kill immediately and go back to the bomb, and it worked out for him. So
And what a kill it was.
props
What a
to
kill it
JDM.
was. That was a patriotic kill, worthy of an American bandana. That was a hero play.
Elige making a lot of bank with that MP9, 4 kills, picks up the M4 of Twist as well. So Liquid still not out of the woods yet in terms of being reset. I mean, if they lose this round, they will definitely be able to buy in the next one. It will just be not an optimal buy. But they do have an optimal buy now, so let's see if they can use all that utility, the AWP on JDM, to keep SK back, as SK is going for mid control. Bomb is towards B apartments, but there's still plenty of time left. And JDM, with the switch up going towards B,
Nice.
finds the kill on Fur.
Indeed, we saw similar angles from Fallen in the first half, and JDM abuses it just as well, if not better, in this game. 5-on-3, and now let's see how SK deal with the struggles that Liquid had to deal with in these situations in the first half. The bomb still headed towards the B bomb site, and I do feel like we might see a boost somewhere from the T's. Could be a boost in CPL, could be a boost to look at shorts. Could just be a boost to stand next to a wall. Stanislaw, if he were to look towards jungle, I feel like his position would be compromised by Cold's angle. But Cold's looking straight into a brick wall. Cold is looking straight into a brick wall, so indeed, I am talking nonsense. And there it is, Liquid getting the first kill in connector, but of course as soon as you draw a grenade, you get killed. Such is the game of Counter-Strike. And now we've got the CTs rotating away from the B bomb site, and that's exactly where the bomb is. Maybe they read that something is up. Taco realizes somebody's on short position. Nitro not ready for it. Didn't hear the sound. It doesn't seem like 13 seconds left. Oh, the pick off from Fallen. And now how do the CTs rotate? We've got a Legion, CT Spawn, and Twist rotating from and through the A bomb site. Fallen's repositioned to apartment. So again, they're going to have the high ground, RSK. The bomb planted in default. High ground's really strong on post-plant Mirage, be it the CTs or the Ts, even more so for the Ts. Twist clearing out the ladder room, Elige clearing out the shop. Not sure if he spotted Fallen, probably has now, but how do they deal with it? Both players with kits, Taco changing things up, jumping out as the CTs look at a bench position. Fallen finishes things off to take the lead, 11-10. Now the money for Liquid is down the pooper once again. Lots of utility coming out for SK after their successful round rather. So Liquid, they've chosen to force it up, just as we saw SK do in a number of rounds in the first half. Triple UMPs, JDM is AWP and naked. Two-man push in Palace is not going to be successful. They spot one player, they don't spot the bomb. They only have so much information based on this. So how much will they commit? Elige in that position I was talking about on the bricks, I think. Maybe he was in the window. JDM has been eliminated as well. And SK will want to keep the AWP out of the hands of the remaining players, although Elige has definitely been spotted. I'm sure Molotovs are coming his way. 11 HP. Even that might even spread once the smoke disappears. Sorry, Stanislaw is the last man standing. That could spread and kill him, but it won't. I almost wish it did, just for amusement.
And you can't really afford to slip up against SK, James. You could see that in that previous round, they lost a 5v3 situation. You can't do that. You can't do that on the CT side. You just need to play it safe, play for information. The Ts eventually have to come to you. Use your numbers. Don't give them 1v1 fights.
I feel like that's one of the biggest strengths of SK versus their opponents, their local opponents, is just their thought process, what they choose to do in certain situations, and how they put themselves in the best positions to win, what they choose to feed their opponents in terms of information. Now it's time for the anti-eco round. The Fur Monster has absolutely been unleashed. The chains are off. He's out of the dark, and he's flying around feeding on small goats.
Goats.
Goats, small and large.
Why goats?
Because you'd commonly find goats, you know, in the hills, standing around eating grass. Goats can't do much to defend themselves.
Are you trying to make like a wolf-sheep reference here?
No, it was a reference to Game of Thrones, right? Because Daenerys she chains some of her dragons up. You know, one of her dragons is quite aggressive, right? So she chains him up for a while, then they get released, and he flies around and just kills goats all the time, and sometimes children. 13-10, both teams on the bye, no AWPs for this round. I think he barbecued someone, barbecued someone's kid or something. 3 teams moving towards the connector area. The flashbang is good for a 2-man spray down, just about for Fur. A fast third kill as well, and Liquid has been turned off. It's like your mum's burst into the room. You've been playing your SNES for too long. Turn that nonsense off. No save game.
How it can all go wrong so incredibly fast, James.
Exactly.
You lose one 5v3 situation, and suddenly you're going to be 14-10 down with a week bye, basically. And I think what you mentioned about the pop flash that Liquid has for B, about it not bouncing anywhere and all of that, I think that's actually being vastly underused at the moment. I think because you can, underhand throw and all of that stuff, teams don't focus as much as on having pop flashes that flying like that, right? From afar, a teammate flashing for you, where there's no way your opponent can turn if he's holding that one particular angle. I think that's the maybe next step in both T-side and CT-side play.
I think the best example that I can think of that, right, is Long A on Cobblestone, where you see the T-side, just when they walk in the arch, they do a jumping flashbang that bounces off the wall and goes over the top. But if you look at North, for example, they're one of the very few teams who have an actual pop flash for that position where A is throwing it for B. But maybe it's the kind of puggy style and people playing pugs and so on just want to flash themselves in all the time. But again, it's very, very inefficient from an element of surprise point of view. So things can definitely be improved there in that regard. At least 2 men spotted on A ramp, maybe 3. Taco is there, he can hear the sounds. And it almost seems like SK want to go towards the A site, perhaps expecting a rotation from Liquid. But rather than a rotation, it's a 3-man push into Palace. And that is a very cheeky one-tap onto Taco. But now the bomb is still emerging into ramp. So it seems SK is still banking on an eventual rotation of the stack towards the B bomb site to try and catch SK off guard. But Liquid are staying static. Phelps moving towards the connector position. 3 men to take care of on the A site. And looking at the positions on and above Shadow, if Phelps spots one, he may not check for the other and look towards CT. So there's a chance that Liquid could get a return frag. I don't know exactly where the weapons are right now. Well, there's one of them, Twist opening things up, and if Twist goes beyond JDM, okay, JDM's inside the Palace. And things can only get worse for Phelps. The longer he takes to try and clear this up, the more CTs will be streaming into the A bomb site, but Nitro and Twist will be enough. Twist taking that last kill, but his teammate able to trade. Liquid win an unlikely round, which keeps SK off of match points.
Great round from Liquid. They realized they needed to take a risk, and they guessed right. I think this is one of the few issues that SK has as a team. Still in some of these anti-eco, anti-force buy rounds against pistols, they spread too much around the map, and they get picked off. Maybe, I mean, it's a fair guess they were expecting Liquid to force, because they would have match point if they won against that eco. And most teams are still unwilling to concede that. Also, you could see after Cold Zero died, Fur just by himself jumping into B. Even if he was flashed in or something, it's still very risky. In that situation, you want to group up and go to the other side, basically, after you see them clear out ramp like that. But SK were just it went from bad to worse really quick, James. You hate to see it.
Indeed you do. A potential swing round for both teams. Trade kills in favor of Liquid. They have position, they have information, but what they don't have is connector, where 3, maybe even 4 players, well, one's been boosted, Phelps, but he's not committing all the way. Elise knows something is amiss and will get a kill for his troubles. 4 versus 2. Cold looking for the player who got a kill on A ramp earlier, and indeed, that is the position I'm talking about. Makes life pretty hard for the T's, especially when they're down in the numbers. Nitro moving towards CT makes it impossible to plant the bomb. If Nitro can stay alive. Stay alive he will. Backing off because they know they've got position in both directions. Well, the only place it is indeed safe is the default position, but Fallen driven from the flames. Lovely grenade from Twist. That's 2 grenades. Perfectly positioned, and again, he will flush out the last pheasant for a nice dinner. 12 rounds. Liquid closing the gap, and now SK may have to allow them to close it yet more. Or not. They've still got loads of money.
This is real good play from Liquid. We talked about yesterday how they are a proactive team. They don't wait for their opponents to make a move. They're the ones making the moves, James. And SK, they can go about it 2 ways. They can try and fight them head on, or they can just wait for Liquid to play into their hands, which is sort of what they did in the previous round, but still couldn't capitalize on the advantage they established early on.
Taco with perhaps a change in approach. I don't know if he was just making sound in Palace or if he had a different idea. I think he's got to throw a smoke top mid for his teammates. Yeah, he has done exactly that. But nobody's going to move top mid for the time being. So again, it might be a ploy to just pull CTs towards the middle area and away from other areas of the map. We've got a push from JDM around the Palace position, and Liquid are playing pretty passive as far as the middle area is concerned. Elige having a look around connector. Other than that, they've got nobody in mid, nobody in CPL, nobody pushing around the short position. Nitro is around the corner, if you will. Starting to have a look now. In fact, re-smoking for his teammate. Don't often see that. Short player re-smoking the entrance to connector. Again, it is an abusable smoke for the CTs. Cold Zero suggesting a play towards the B bomb site with some pop flashes through the window, but the bomb is still on ramp. 2 A players there, and Elige may have just spotted the game, but can the rotation come in fast enough from the CTs? We've got one pushing apartments and one coming up short. JDM taking the bomb carrier down. Got an angle on Palace, but he's not sure where to look. That flash won't touch him. Nitro spraying through the smoke. 25 seconds for these Ts to move in, and the CTs are getting pretty damn close to it. They've still got control of CT spawn as well with JDM, so how did he get the bomb down? 17 seconds, the bomb's still on the floor on A ramp. Cold Zero is trapped in CPL. It's down to Taco. He's got to do this for his team. He has no idea. Lost the pre-fire. No idea where the CTs are. 7 seconds for him to collect the bomb. Or win by elimination. And he has done exactly that from the angles that JDM was holding behind the box. I don't know if he saw where the bomb was. If he did, maybe his decision changes there. But somehow SK have clawed that round back from nowhere.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for Liquid. JDM, maybe it was the bomb, maybe he just felt pressure that he was going to be spammed through the box since he was low HP, but I mean, it's difficult to tell from his position. And Taco being way more aggressive now towards A-Ram, finds the entry kill on JDM. Phelps finds yet another one on Twist from mid, and it seems like Team Liquid is falling apart in round number 28. Oh, they played so well throughout the game, but seems like the aggression from SK is what brings them down in the end.
Solid play from SK to claw that back. Again, it was a successful start from Liquid. I think they won both pistols, but in the end, it was SK taking it over the line. Lovely stuff from that, and that's just the first match of 2.
Hello.
Okay, there we go.
It's great to see SK also showing discipline throughout that game, right? When they were losing gun rounds initially, where they were falling behind, they were still saving their guns, realizing when a round was lost. That's what allowed them to rebuy throughout that first half and eventually